Well, today is Sunday. I got back up here yesterday, which was Saturday. The last week we were pretty busy down at Sparks Motors, and Friday was nice. Dave took us on a day of mandatory fun down to the lake, and he's gonna do a video on it on wakeboarding, or the wake that it's formed. But this is the first time I've come up since we've had the big thunderstorm downpours and the flood. The last video I showed, it started raining really heavy as I was heading out to head back to the city. And I knew from the way the water was coming down, it would do some damage to the road. And then the next day we had a second one. And the road is heavily damaged. I can get up and down on the ATV, and my mountain truck will, but it's very, very rough. There's some holes cut in that's over 2 feet deep, and the road near the bottom would even have been worse if it hadn't have the flow of water cut off the side of the mountain in 2 spots and relieved some of the flow from going down the main road. This is the most water ever coming down in a downpour. I would say probably 2 to 3 times. This is like the record, like probably 3 times the record I've had out here, because it wasn't just one, but I've had at least 2 of those big storms that flooded the road within like a day of each other. And the road wasn't completely packed down or anything, so it was pretty loose to begin with. So I can show you some of that footage once when I head back down. When I was coming up, I just was keeping my hands on the handlebars on the ATV. So at least, yesterday I did quite a bit of cleanup, even though it may not look at all the big stuff is pretty much all removed from there, and a lot in here. So today I'm going to try to get this all smoothed out right in here and keep moving it in. Got the wheelbarrows already loaded, and far down over where the mine carts are is a huge pile of the metal. It was tough enough, having the fire and then having record downpours all at once. And it makes it hard for cleanup, because when it hits this stuff, it almost turns it into like a concrete. It gets really hard, so I have to re-loosen it up to pull stuff out and to clean it up. So this is like record-breaking bad weather all in one short period of time. So down there, one of the there's wood pylons holding an access tunnel to run wires and some cables, and it had collapsed. I can see a bunch of stuff that had fallen down in there. So a bit depressing, because just one thing after another that is happening. And the Bobcat 331 is down. I'm gonna have to use it today a couple times, as long as I run it only for a minute or 2. It's okay, because I'll have to tear into it and figure out why the cooling system isn't flowing, whether it's the thermostat or the water pump. Doesn't look like a big job, but it's just one more thing that I do not have time for. So bit of a depressing weekend, but I got to get working, otherwise nothing's gonna get done. All right, thanks. I don't know, I'm not sure if it's hard to see, but there's tons of fasteners and small tools that were all in this one section of the building down here. Probably a couple tons, maybe 2 or 3 tons just on fasteners, nuts, bolts, and stuff that I'm going through. And it's just taking forever. I'm using the magnet here. The magnet goes so far. Then I also have fasteners that are stainless steel. I'm trying to get it out, and then I've got a bunch of glass. So this this last bit of work, we just get through most of what we can, because I need to get it all cleaned out really well. So I'll videotape some of that. Glass and stuff thrown away. The magnet only takes so much until it stops pulling. Ow, ow, ow. Hooked by something there. The quickest way to get the metal chunks. There's so many big nuts and bolts in here. Bunch of stainless. Yeah, big nuts and bolts. That's a big stainless steel nut. Another stainless steel. Pretty hot today. Well, mostly muggy. We just got a little breeze right now. That breeze is pretty awesome. I'm like taking all the rocks and getting it out of the way, anything large, and once I get everything off the surface and start raking, a lot more material will come up. Everything even got old tap stuff from the tap and die sets out here. Still tons of my lug nuts for the M880s and all my trucks. That is really weird, whatever that is. Basically, each time I load this little bucket up, it weighs about 100 pounds. And I think I've already got about a ton of nuts and bolts already in that other pile. So basically what you see me doing here is basically old school, on the ground, just cleaning up. Don't really have much of the other option. Trying to get stuff. I was thinking of whether or not just to scrape all the material off and just dump all this, but there's a lot of material in here still that I can probably salvage and would save quite a bit on using it. Plus, it's also a tremendous amount of work to try to load stuff up and take it down the mountain in the pickup truck. One of the biggest issues on that would be when you're coming down the mountain, you have to rely completely on the brakes on the automatic transmission, since it has an auto. If I had a manual, it wouldn't be so bad. But yeah, rely on the brakes going down. That's why I usually never take stuff down off the mountain, because it requires relying on the brakes. Big military trucks with the front axle engaged, it'll hold you back. But it's going to be quite a bit of this hand stuff here probably for the next couple hours. And as soon as I get sort of bored with working on this, I'll go back over to the north section, grab some more of the bigger stuff. It is slowly cleaning up, but there's still just a lot of garbage. I'm gonna probably still have to remove a lot of the surface material and somehow load it up and get it down, even with the issue I mentioned before. The garbage pile behind me there's some generators and stuff behind it, but probably be one big truckload going down with garbage. Well, so basically it's just gonna be more of this for the next couple hours. So I'll get back when I have something more to show. Well, the sun has gone down and I've cleaned up quite a bit. Problem is there's just a lot of metal still stuck in here and some garbage material. Most of the big stuff is all gone. I was raking all through that. So nothing too impressive. These next video updates, that's all I'm going to be doing, is just trying to get this thing cleaned up here, so then we can replace it, and at least once this is done here, I can work here and then start finishing up on the fortress there. But right over here I'm going to replace this building here with one like right there. There's some of the foundation already put in, so I just need some south foundation and I can build back in. It still will give me like a big open area right in this area where the fire was, but that means at some point I'm going to have to build a wall here, because the wind comes pretty strong. So well, that's enough for this evening, and thanks everybody for watching and subscribing and everything. Thank you so much. Have a great evening. I was going to show as an addendum damage to the road. All the dirt's like washed away. I've lost a foot here and it's all like rock and everything. There's some deep holes right over here that are like about 1.5 feet deep. Really rough getting through here. Right in here, see it down. This is pretty tough right in this area, and it's not even the worst. I'll show you the next. Got some holes in here that are over 2 feet deep. This whole thing turned into a river. You don't want to fall down that one right there. That'll tip me over. And this other one here, it's even deeper. Rough right in this area. Yeah, even getting to the base of the mountain has gotten pretty difficult. We got places here they're just cut out big grooves right across the road. Goes all the way down. It's got even a deeper one when you're trying to get into the gate area. So that's the end of the addendum.